Hello students. Now, today we are going to start chapter polynomial. In the previous standard ninth class, we have studied so many different types related to the polynomial. First of all, before going to start this chapter polynomial, first we recall the basic concept, what we mean by the polynomial and its type. So, just for the quick revision, we call the types of the polynomial. There are so many different types of the polynomial. The first type of the polynomial is called as monomial. Mono means one. Any polynomial contain only one term is called as monomial. That one term may be contain single variable or group of variables. If you take the example of monomial, okay, the example is the single variable x, or it may be y, or it may be the combination of xy, or it may be represented as x square, y square form. So such a single term is called as monomial. Now the second type is binomial. The term binomial means, bi means, in this term binomial, bi means it contains two terms which are separated out using plus or minus sign. So we take example of this binomial as it may be x plus 1. It contains two terms. First one is x, second one is 1. Next one, x square minus 5. This also contains two terms. So this is the example of binomial. We can change or write in different variable form like this: y cube minus 27. So this is another example of binomial. Mono means contain one term, bi means binomial contain two terms in such a way that trinomial, tri means 3, is in this trinomial there are three terms. Some example of trinomials are: first one, it may be x square plus x plus 1. So there are three terms. It belongs to trinomial. This trinomial contains three terms. One more example like this, we can use a number which is a coefficient of given variable x cube, 3x cube plus 5x minus 10. This also contains three terms, 1, 2 and 3, which is example of trinomial. Now what do you mean by polynomial? The polynomial means the polynomial means if the expression contains more than three terms, then it is called as polynomial. Poly means more than three terms. Example of polynomial can be written as, it may be x raised to 4 plus 5x cube plus 3x square plus 2x minus 1. If you count the terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms are there which are separated by either plus or minus sign, which is the example of polynomial. We can form so many types of, so many different examples of polynomial as well as mono, bi and trinomial. Now, these are the main type of polynomial. Some more types. Zero polynomial. What do you mean by zero polynomial? Zero polynomial. Before going to start with the zero polynomial, first we have to discuss about the degree of the polynomial. Degree of polynomial. Okay. So what do you mean by degree of polynomial? So this is an important point. Degree of polynomial. What do you mean by the degree of polynomial? If you take any example from this type which contain either single term, double term, triple or more than 3 terms, we check the power of the variable which is related to the degree of polynomial. One example is taken like this. If you take the example like this, x square plus x plus 1, it is given in x variable form. First, we represent this given polynomial as studied in the 9th standard by p of x. The p of x is given polynomial. This is the representation of polynomial. Now, to find the degree of given polynomial, first we check the highest power of the variable. Here, power is not mentioned, so we consider 1. Here, power is given 2, so the highest power among this 1 and 2 is 2. So this highest power is called as the degree of polynomial. Therefore, we can write the degree as 2. One more example to find the degree of polynomial. If we take 5x4 plus 3x minus 2. This is the example of trinomial. But to find the degree of polynomial, first we have to check the highest power of only variable. Here x variable is given. Let us consider the representation. Let us consider the given polynomial which can be expressed in the form of p of x because x variable is given. If instead of x, y variable is given, then we represent given polynomial by p of y. Now for this x variable, we represent given polynomial by p of x as 3x raised to 4, 5x raised to 4 plus 3x minus 2. Now we check the highest power of x. The highest power is 4, not x to the power 1. So the degree is 4. Here, using this degree, we can find the number of zeros also. We take that topic later on, but first we find the degree of polynomial. Okay. Now, after this, the next type is the type number 5. Type number 5. Now, in this type, we take, this is the number 5, which is called as zero polynomial. What do you mean by the zero polynomial? Okay. Now, any polynomial whose degree is suppose 0, we find out now how the degree is 0. If degree is 0, such a polynomial is known as zero polynomial. We take the example of zero polynomial as any number. Suppose take number 2. This is a constant one. The degree of any constant is always 0. So such a constant number is also called as zero polynomial. How this constant number contains degree 0? First, we recall one formula for the mathematical exponent. A formula for the exponent. Any number, if its power is 0, then its value is taken as 1. Similarly, we can take the value of power of x as 0, therefore its value is again 1. Now we try to express this 2 into the form of 2 into any one variable having some power. Therefore, this 2 can be expressed as 2 into x to the power 0. So 2 into x and its power is 0. Therefore, its degree is called as the degree of this polynomial is 0. Clear? Now, how degree is 0? Because its value is 1. X to the power 0 is 1. Yeah? In such a way, we can take some more example or any number. It is 700, which are constant, and degree of any constant number is always 0. Now, the next type is linear polynomial. The next type is linear polynomial. Now, in this linear polynomial, what do you mean by linear polynomial? Or in this linear polynomial, the degree of such a linear polynomial is always 1. Now, we take the example of linear polynomial. Suppose the first one, x plus 1. Then the power of x is not mentioned, so we consider the power as 1. Therefore, the degree of this polynomial is 1. The degree is equal to 1. One more example to represent the linear polynomial is 5y minus 10. Okay. Again, the polynomial having a degree 1. Yeah. So such a polynomial is known as linear polynomial in which the degree is 1. Now next one is quadratic polynomial. Next one is quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial now in this quadratic polynomial, if degree of any polynomial is 2, degree of any polynomial is 2, then such a polynomial is called as quadratic polynomial. We take the example of quadratic polynomial as first one is write 2x square plus 3x minus 1. Yeah. So this is the example of quadratic polynomial because the degree of this polynomial is 2. Yeah. One more example is y square plus 5y plus 6. So this is the second example of quadratic polynomial having degree 2. Yeah. Now, next topic is coefficient. Next topic is coefficient. Coefficient of polynomial. What do you mean by coefficient? The coefficient of any polynomial is said to be the integers which are in multiplication form with the given variable. Okay? If we take one example, let us consider one polynomial which is represented by p of x, that is equal to px square minus 5x plus 10. Okay? Actually, this is the example of quadratic polynomial as well as it contains 3 terms, so we call this one as trinomial. Now, coefficient. We take first we concentrate on the variables. Okay, number of variables are 2. Therefore, coefficients can be expressed as 3 minus 5. Okay, we take sign also. So we write all the multiples of the variables which are used in the polynomial. Okay, like 3 minus 5. Okay, along with the signs. So these are called as coefficients of polynomial. We form so many examples to find the coefficients. Now next one is how to find 0 of given polynomial. 0 of given polynomial. This is very important concept. Okay, we studied this topic in the 9th standard, but just for a call, how to find the 0 of a given polynomial. To find the 0, whatever be the polynomial is given, first check the degree of polynomial. Check the degree of polynomial. This degree decides the number of zeros given polynomial. If for any polynomial represented by p of x, degree is 0, then for such a polynomial, number of zeros of such a polynomial is given by this degree. Can be find out using this degree. So if it is a quadratic polynomial having degree 2, so number of zeros for such a polynomial is said to be. If it is a linear, or if it is this example, the degree of this polynomial is 4. So for this example, the number of zeros for this polynomial is 4. So degree of any polynomial decides the number of zeros. If degree is 2, number of zeros are 2. If degree is 3, number of zeros are 3, and so on. Now, how to find the zeros of polynomial? First, we take one example. There are different methods to find zeros of the polynomial. Okay. Method number 1. We take first example how to find the zeros of a given polynomial. Let us consider one polynomial represented by p of x, that is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, this is called as a quadratic polynomial having degree 2. So this degree decides the number of zeros. Now, degree is 2. So for this polynomial, the number of zeros is also. But how to find that zeros? That zeros means the value of x. Here we satisfy this polynomial, RHS of this polynomial. Now, in the first step, we take this p of x as 0. We take p of x as 0. Therefore, this is 0. 0 is equal to this RHS. This RHS equal to 0. This we write here x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now, to find the value of x, which gives the value of zeros of a given polynomial. Now, how to solve this equation? This equation can be solved using different methods, but one most important method is factorization. Okay. Now, what is factorization method? In this factorization method, we consider the last constant number which doesn't contain any variable. The constant number is 6. Now, we solve over here. That's x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. We take out this constant number like this and try to factorize this number 6. We find so many factors. We know the factors of 6. 6 ones are 6, 1 into 6, 2 3s are 6, and 3 2s are 6. So, this much factors are possible for this given number 6. Now, what is the use of this factor and which factor is important to solve this equation? Okay. To find the zeros of a given polynomial. Now, factorization method. First, in this method, we check the sign of given constant number. The sign of given constant number is plus. Okay, means and this middle term is 5x. Whatever be the factors of 6, you must concentrate on this sign plus. In some cases there is a minus also, but in this example there is a plus. So you decide using these factors, which are the factors of 6, sum of which two factor is a middle term, middle term. 2 plus 3 is 6 and 3 plus 2. Sorry. 2 plus 3 is 5 and 3 plus 2 is also 5. So out of this two factor we take any one. Here means we split this 5x into the form of 2x plus 3x or 3x plus 2x. Therefore, we write here x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6 equal to 6. Now, underline the first two term and last two term. Take out common from this first two term, whatever possible. This contain x, this contain x, so x is common. So terms which are remains x for this and 2 for this. Similarly, we take some common terms from this second. 3 common, x plus 2, that is equal to 0. Again we take this common bracket and in the second bracket we write the remaining term, x is remaining over here and plus 3, that is x plus 3 equal to 0. After this, either we take first bracket as 0 or second bracket as 0. Here to find the value of x. If we take x plus 2 as 0, then x is equal to minus 2 and x plus 3 is equal to 0. This gives the value of x as minus 3. From this x plus 2 we get the value of x as minus 2 and from over here we get the value of x as minus 3. So these two values, that is minus 2 and minus 3, are called as zeros of given polynomial. Okay, how to find? So there are two zeros, therefore right here zeros are minus 2 minus 3. Clear? Next one, representation. What will be the number of zeros are there, either it is a case of quadratic polynomial or cubic polynomial. Okay, so there is a special representation in this chapter, representation for zeros of given polynomial. Yeah. Now, how to represent the given polynomial? What will be? First, we find using this factorization method the value of zeros. Zeros of, suppose it is a case of quadratic polynomial, so we mention here zeros of quadratic polynomial is represented by alpha, beta. What? Alpha and beta. Means first zero suppose represented by alpha and second zero is represented by alpha. So we write the value of alpha is equal to minus 2 and beta is equal to minus 3. So this is the representation of zeros of polynomial. If it is a case of cubic polynomial which contain 3 zeros, then we can write the value of such a 3 zeros using alpha, beta and gamma. Yeah?